Hello, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Freewheeling Fridays. Hi, Bhargavi.
Hi.
We're just waiting for Vinod to join in. He should be joining us any minute. Today we
Okay.
should be live on
LinkedIn?
LinkedIn as well, but somehow it's not showing up. Okay. Yeah, I hope it shows up now.
Should show on Vinod's
Mm.
profile.
It's on Vinod's profile, but I think there's some issue with it.
Yeah, I still can't see it.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like there is some issue. We probably have to fix it. Shall we end the stream and try again?
Sure.
Karthik, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you, Vinod. Let me also share the link with the name, if you can also join.
Is it?
I'm not sure if it's coming on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I think we're live.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But I'm not sure if you're coming, if you're streaming on LinkedIn or not.
No,
It's
there
coming
seems,
on
yeah,
your.
to all our guests, apologies. There seems Java Capital. Okay, Twitter is live.
Okay, yeah, we are live on LinkedIn as well. So, guys, great to see you here from LinkedIn as well. I hope some people will join us today on LinkedIn. Bhargavi is also here. Hi, Bhargavi.
Hi.
Hey. So we are live on LinkedIn. I'm just gonna share it with my uh,
Yeah,
followers as well.
yeah, we can put it on Java Capital's account from there. That should be good. But if you joined on time today, what happened?
Joined before you today.
Yeah, yeah.
When I joined, the bitrate was fine. Now the connection, quality is dropped. I don't know why. Okay, are we good to go, Karthik?
Yes, yes, we are.
Yeah, we are live there. I can see the stream here.
Great, good to be on LinkedIn as well today. So what's up, guys? What's happening?
All good, all good. Things are good.
I think we all look a little exhausted today.
No, I think it's been a good day. Surely it's been a good day, at least, I feel with a lot more momentum coming in. It's surely a good day. Bhargavi, what's happening? Karthik just walked off, so I'm going to try and, moderate this now. Here we go.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm still on LinkedIn, so I saw all the three of us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Karthik is off. That's okay. I think he is going to join us. This is the first time we're doing it on LinkedIn also. So let's see how it
Okay.
goes. Yeah.
Great. So, guys, I don't have anything planned for today, so this will truly be freewheeling,
Mhm.
right? Uh, so, tell me what's happening. Why is it a good day today, Vinod?
Generally, I think it's been a good day. I'm saying it. There's nothing surprises. Yesterday,
Watch this, Karthik. There are
there are only
only
good
like
days.
2 days.
That's a good
That
day.
also you're questioning why it's a good day. Just take it and run.
Yeah, yes, yes. It's a good day because it's going to be weekend tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just looking forward to some short travel over the weekend.
Yeah,
Uh,
me too.
yeah, and then followed by
A
one
week
more
long, week
long.
long.
No, 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 no. Yeah, I have a short travel, then followed by a long, so-called retreat come work vacation, whatever. Yeah. So I am like looking forward to both of them. And of all the things, the market has fallen the maximum today in the short memory. Yeah. Then I'm saying it's a,
bites back.
and then I'm saying it's a good day. On top of it, imagine people would be like cursing the
No,
market.
when market falls, it's a good day, definitely. Today I was sharing about a stock, right? It has US in the last 3 years. So anyone who owns that stock, if they start comparing that return with startup returns, then how do we answer? But it's good. Luckily
Interesting. I
for
mean, you
me,
can't compare, but
I know,
yeah,
but
yeah,
markets giving high return means allocation of capital to other alternate asset classes will reduce.
it will increase, right? Now it will increase. That's why you're happy,
Do you
Bhargavi.
think they will make
For
money there and
alternate
come and
asset
give it
class.
to alternate asset classes?
Tell that to the people who lost,
No,
30%, 40% today.
No way.
I don't think the people lost 20%, 30%. I think so. Yeah. But yeah, I think anyway, it's one thing it reminds me is that today we can't mention any of the regulators' names, isn't it? Looks like, huh?
Why?
Because so much of action on the regulatory side, I think it's better we keep quiet now. There is.
Plus, we are there on LinkedIn. So it's just one tag. Just now, I was seeing something from Smriti Irani, madam. She just finished executive MBA or something. So LinkedIn is much more accessible.
Yeah. My network is better. I can tell you. My pictures are looking beaming. Okay. At least there's a feedback loop now. I can see the number of bars is all green. So
Right.
this network
Yeah,
connection
yeah.
is good.
That's also green today. Good.
Yeah, that's green. Otherwise usually yellow, and you both will be complaining. I'm not looking as beautiful as both of you, which anyway you can't. I think. Okay, so I'll tell you what I've been doing. I've been ordering books. Unread books. Maybe today I'll talk about unread books. Karthik, maybe should I start with?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So let me start with this one then, Karthik. I just ordered this a couple of days. The Beginner's Guide to Japan by Pico Iyer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like actually interestingly surprising.
So again, so people can actually see it now.
Okay.
Okay.
This is what I'm trying to read. I think I can finish this tomorrow when I'm traveling. That should be an interesting one. I'll tell you one more of my unread books. I think this is another unread book. You should still put me on the frame, Karthik. Then only I can show them. See, this is also still lying on the table, not started. Still lying, not sure what to do. This is another unread book, which is about gut bacteria, still not read. Okay, again, early. Half read book, this one. Okay. I'm like still figuring out how do I do finish. Maybe, this holiday should end up. This is another one. It's just slightly red. I can see a bookmark there. So I'll be just slightly red. So then, there are two other stunning books which I've been trying to read for the last decade, not completed still. More than a decade, I think. This one. Okay.
Yeah, Intelligent Investor. It never grows old.
Yeah, it never grows old. This book I bought in, Blossoms in like something like 2006-7, Karthik.
So, tell me something.
It was bought in the 90s, Vinod.
No, this is an old edition also, by the way. This is one of the. I'll tell you.
I don't think so. There is a red color cover. That is the first edition.
That is first edition. This one is a revised edition. This is still 2006. This was printed in 2006, by the way. So, what happened, Karthik? We lost Karthik again. We're talking about 100 books and we lost Karthik. Strange.
Boring subjects only would have gone off.
I was going to ask, when you leave these books half
Red.
right?
Mm.
So, and you pick it up after like, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months.
Mm.
Can you still follow the narrative?
That's interesting, right? So, good question. I think some books you can actually follow the narrative, Karthik, but some books, it's harder to follow the narrative. So, like a book like, I think, this A Beginner's Guide to Japan, right? I think you can read it whichever page you open and, you can continue to read, I think it won't bother you so much. But a book like this, right? I don't think so. I can follow it very easily. But one advantage about this book, right, is also that you can read it chapter by chapter. There's no what do you call. You need not establish tight relationship between the first chapter and the second chapter. I mean, if you've got the overall trend, I think it depends on the book. Especially, obviously, right? These are all non-fiction. I think I've showed a bunch of non-fiction here, so that's like easier that way, right? You could just read and grab a few things. For example, the book that you gave, right? I am almost there, but I think I did finish is what I was telling you, but I'm almost there. I think now I'm reading the post version of the book, right? He talks about after achieving good to great, how to sustain yourself. That's the portion I'm still like reading about it. But when I get bored, right, really about nonfiction, what I do is generally open book like this, okay,
Ayn Rand. Oh wow.
and and you won't believe it. I can go and if there are certain portions of the story that I want, I can go to that. I can just briefly go through. It'll take me 5 minutes, but I can go to the correct portion and reread it. But I can't do the same. I can't do the same with a non-fiction book. So I can clearly tell, when he was in the mine or when the bomb was when he put a bomb, right? I can go figure out like in 5 minutes, which page it is, and I can reread that portion, which actually feels good. But I really can't do that with non-fiction. Nothing is just really sticks to your maybe I don't know to your heart in a non-fiction. Much more mine in a fiction, right? It just sticks to your heart. Like that I wanted to read romance sequence in this book. I just went and flipped through, and I could actually read in like 5 minutes. I could read 2 pages and then kept it off. Interestingly, so maybe I don't know. You should share your experience about these books and how do you read? Yeah, Bhargavi is laughing. I should ask her.
No, I'm actually reading a book. It's a good topic which you
Oh,
have
you can't share
chosen.
that.
I actually wanted to share that about that book in our with one of our portfolio companies because it's Invisible Women, and it's about how there is bias in the current data where the default data is assumed to be men, and all the artificial intelligence and data models are built around that default data. And it's a nice book. It makes you think, and I think it's very very important for founders who are using data. And the book talks about women getting loans, and more importantly, how this impacts when you build AI models where medical reports are read by artificial
Yeah.
intelligence, and probably prescription is going to be suggested because for certain ailments and diseases, the metrics for women are going to be very different from that of men. So I just started that book. It's a very interesting book. I thought I'll probably share a couple some of our portfolio for whom it will be relevant. But yeah, that's the book I'm reading now.
Interesting.
I think
Yeah.
you should share a couple of insights right now with our audience also.
Yeah, so as I said, right, so what is the default data which is available is always assumed to be men. And not only that, what they are saying is in when you actually collect data about minority, generally you classify minorities into one bucket, and you don't split minority group into women and men. So then if there is any specific data bias or let's say, for example, the way Asian women's heart, the factors why a Asian woman will get a heart attack is going to be different from that of American women, for example, right? You might not get the data some predominantly for this particular segment. They collect it as a whole for minorities. So it starts right from data collection, and this is not today. This is how historical data has been collected and maintained, and today we feed this data in building our AI models. So how then it's a systematic error, or probably this is how the models are getting built. Same goes with credit. So credit is not available, and when you build models around it, then it affects their credit worthiness. And actually, this book came out when we have a group for ISB alumni women, and we were doing a discussion with someone who actually heads in PayPal. How do they build their models, which is more inclusive? And she was talking about some of the biases, and she was saying PayPal is working, and she especially remove some of these biases. So credit becomes available for women, or the credit scores are adjusted when they evaluate women in probably tier 2, tier 3, or villages in somewhere like India. Still the models don't have the bias. So that way it's actually a very wide problem, and frankly I was not aware of it, right, till I started reading the book. So that way I think it's a interesting, very relevant for founders.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's
I
interesting, man.
I think this is absolutely true, by the way. Like, when women get at least, they only get like what, 60-70% of what their male counterparts get. And then you try to build traditional credit models on top of that, right? Now you are, from the get-go onwards, you are disadvantaged. It's crazy, when you think about it, right? And more, everybody is relying on data,
Yeah.
and I think it's only going to increase in the future, right? All of these differences will get accentuated in the near future, sadly. Yeah. But that's a good, point. We put out the name of the book also earlier on, so for people may want to just spy and read it as well.
Yeah, it's
All right, I think I got a little bit of feedback there. All right, so what I am actually doing, guys, is I'm following a fascinating story about a company called Aussie Media. I don't know if you guys heard of this fiasco. So this company it's an 8-year-old company, and they were looking to raise some $40 million from Goldman Sachs. So this is supposed to be like a great media company with a lot of audience, viewers, and so on and so forth. This is US based, and for the conference call with the Goldman Sachs investment committee, they requested a connect to YouTube from the founders, because most of their videos are on YouTube, and they claim that YouTube is their very close partner, right? And they requested to bring Alex Piper, who heads unscripted programming for YouTube, to come on the call. And the founders promised that he would come. And the this executive, right, this YouTube executive, he also consented on email, saying that I'll join the conference call. Okay, but in the last minute, he did not join the conference call on Zoom, saying that his Zoom was not working. Instead, what he said was, let's do old school type conference call, and then they had the call, right? So the IC committee members, from Goldman Sachs, right, they suspected something was wrong here. Okay, and they reached out to the same executive through somebody else, and then they realized that this guy was never on this call, and he had no idea this call was set up. So this entire thing was set up by one of the founders. One of the founders, did the impression of this Alex Piper guy, right? And try to convince. And this is just unfolding like crazy, right? I'm just the reason why I stumbled upon this story. I'll tell you, Bhargavi. I saw an article this morning today in one of these finance newspapers, right, about how Paytm's IPO didn't go as planned, and it was like a cautionary sort of thing put out for all startup founders, right? Most of our journalism in India, right, it's always reactive, when you think about it, right? um, in the US, it's much more investigative. Like I saw this story and I was shocked, how something like this, right, as massive as this could actually happen. And this was put out by New York Times. And there's another similar story is Theranos. Right now, Theranos is unfolding courtroom drama. When you have those things, you just don't need to read any more books.
Yeah,
Especially this is as good as fiction. This is even
Yeah.
better
really.
than fiction, real life drama.
Bad Blood is a book
Yep.
which was like 90% fiction, right? It felt like that. Actually, I felt the book to be much
Correct.
better than the movie. I watched the movie as well, but I felt the book was
Yeah.
much more engaging than the movie.
Right, right. Yeah, I think I saw the documentary too. I loved the documentary, but you're right. I didn't read the book. Maybe if for people who read the book, I think they'll probably like that more because it will be
Karthik,
much
that's an
more detailed.
interesting. No, you presented this founder case, right? I read about another thing in. I think I followed this Goldman Sachs case also, and then I read this another small piece in India because there is online examinations or whatever, right? Like, or not online examinations. Sorry, the startup recruitment. So
Mm.
there was one person who appeared for the interview, okay, and a second person, who showed up on the first day of the office, and on the call, right, he didn't show his face on the first day, okay, and the second day, right, the team asked him to show the face, and that was a totally third different guy. So interview offer. So because it's remote work, right? So by the
Yeah.
time the third day they realize this is totally different guy. The guy who appeared for the interview, the guy who got the offer letter, and the guy who turned up, right, are totally three different guys.
This is so sad, Vinod, but there is precedent to this, right? Like in the US, when I was in the US, right, when I just went there, a lot of young graduates, right, they would pose as somebody with like 10, 15 years experience, and they try to land a job through some consultant companies.
Hmm.
And these consultant companies, they also provide the people who will take interviews on their behalf on the phone, right? So it sort of reminded me of that
It's a double bluff.
situation. Yeah. Yeah, this is crazy. They would fake the resumes, but thanks to LinkedIn and stuff, no, it's become very difficult to fake it. And Zoom interviews have become much more common now. Yeah.
What's that
So that's
song? you're on mute. Vinod is talking on mute.
Okay, yeah, I unmuted you now. Go ahead.
No, there's a serial music in the background, so I had to kind of mute
That's
myself.
what I was asking. What's that song? Okay.
So
So
guys, tell me
I still have
something.
to shut the door. That's the problem.
Did you guys cut the cord or not?
At the what?
The cord. Are you still using cable?
No, the DTH.
Not. We actually watch very less TV, and I think we don't watch anything other than Netflix on TV. So,
Okay.
so that's
You
one
don't
of
have
the
it.
reasons why our parents don't come and stay with us for long.
You don't have cable connection.
We have, but it's a lot of logistics, so we end up not connecting it when they are here.
Right.
So we watch
So
TV only once a week.
it's a DTH connection, right? For me, right, I need the TV to
Yeah,
catch
same
up
thing.
with
Yeah.
cricket.
So like the traditional TV connection you still have.
No,
Yeah.
cable. The old one is not there. The DTH connection is there. For me, I think it's useful because I want to watch cricket. I mean, you
I
don't
have
want to.
gone completely OTT like 4 years ago.
No,
No
I
more
put it
cable.
for cricket, and my parents watch serials, so
Hmm.
I can't put that on OTT because my bandwidth will go.
Dude, it's cheaper now, right? The internet rates are quite cheap right now.
Even if it's cheaper, Karthik, imagine if you watch like 6 hours.
Yeah. So I measured, we have 3 TVs and all of them are internet connected, right? We do like somewhere around 20 to 21 GB per day, right? So my monthly allocation is 500 GB. So it's more or less, it comes down to that utilization.
Yeah, same thing, but yeah, I think our OTT consumption is lower. Yeah, it looks like because of the TV. But like you are telling, right, my quality of my video keeps going down. See, even
Yeah, yeah,
without using OTT consumption, it's going down. Now it's already gone down. Yeah.
But Karthik contributes so much to greenhouse gas emissions.
Why? How?
Internet causes, it's one of the largest cause, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, shoot.
Yeah, and similarly, right? Like you should watch all these Netflix documentaries. That's what Bhargavi does. That's why she gets to know all these. I don't know that there's truth in the Netflix documentary. Also, I keep
No,
suspecting.
I go do research outside the documentaries also.
So I saw one, which talked about biggest cause of pollutions in oceans. Guess what? What will you tell?
Biggest
Plastic.
cause of pollutions in plastic.
Plastics. Plastic.
Fishing.
Plastic, yes, but not plastic.
Fishing net.
Fishing.
Fishing nets. Fishing nets, by the way. Like I'm like craziness, right? Because people abandon their nets because what's the point in taking it out and putting it somewhere? They just abandon it to the ocean, and actually animals get stuck, and there's actually huge pieces of fishing. I mean, I've heard like people put nets as wide as half a kilometer wide, and all that. I'm
Yes.
like
Wow.
crazy. They
That
basically
happens even in India into the oceans if you actually see. Yes.
yeah, I mean, basically they just go to the roof and pick everything that's there, with this huge, massive nets,
Yeah.
which is like
My God.
crazy again. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, this is crazy, man. And then, I see some of these horrific videos on YouTube, right, where seals get stuck in those nets, or there are turtles who are stuck with the
yeah,
net, wrapped around their necks.
yes.
It's just crazy, man.
Yeah, I think we've spoken so much about freewheeling. Why don't we talk a little bit about the startup and the venture capital ecosystem? Karthik, is there anything? Bhargavi, what about you?
Yeah, I think how many unicorns this week? One
37
week.
we are on 37. My prediction is 52, right? Like we are on
39,
37.
39, you know.
Oh, 39 updated. Maybe we should pull out one graph, man, of that. I think that'll be interesting. Wait,
My surprise was Pinny,
Winning.
and I think it is going to be good for Droom when Droom is now looking at going for IPO. So
yeah, I
she's
think
the latest one, but that was a surprise, frankly, because I mean, used cars like.
I think overall unicorns in India is 76. Okay, I am sending you one, and I will also pull up the country list. Just give me a sec. I'm sending you that. Here we go. And this is overall India. We will pull up the country tracker. 2020.
Country. India
No,
is country.
no, sorry. 2021 unicorn tracker. That's also become. Everybody's tracking end trackers, money control. Literally, everybody is. So 38 according to end tracker. I'll get the list from there.
ET has a good list, man. I'll put it up, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Anything. Yeah, I got that card. I just got it.
42 also has, they keep up with.
No, everybody is doing it. It's like the new age.
Yeah, they better do. They are in this domain, they have to track.
Yeah. So here's two things. One is the 2021 list and the India tracker that I provided, overall tracker.
Yeah, Ink 42 is one. But I think this is little dated, Ink 42. Wait, let me check.
Yeah, no, I think Karthik's looking at ET, but we can.
Okay. This is updated report. Yes.
Yeah, Karthik, that's an updated one, man. You should pull that
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Ink 42 is updated.
Okay.
How do I put it?
They have updated till Spinny. Spinny is the latest one.
Okay. Can you guys see? Or you cannot see it?
Okay, you have to put it. Yeah, we're not able to see it yet on the screen. Yeah. Okay. Man, this is looking okay. Go down, Karthik.
Go
There's
down,
a
Karthik. Monthly.
yeah. Go down. There's a monthly list. Yeah, see
Yes,
January,
this one.
January, February. That's the list, Karthik. Yeah.
I think they missed one company, in this list.
Yeah, this shows 38, Karthik. This Upstock is missing in this, Karthik.
Upstocks is not officially yet a unicorn.
Not official, unofficially a unicorn. Yeah.
I know a logistics company that can also be listed here soon.
Uh-huh.
So
yeah,
at the end of the year, we should hit at least another couple more.
Yeah, more than a couple more.
More than that, couple more.
I think before Christmas, Karthik, a lot of people will sign their term sheet before taking their holiday. Look at it. I think, 3 or 4, if you ask me, easy. So 45 from 52, I think, not a bad thing still. I got the numbers right. Very close. 52 is what I was telling. 1 a week.
Vinod, there is a second crypto company also, right, which became a unicorn?
Yeah, CoinSwitch and then the other one, CoinDCX. Both are there.
That is not listed here, I think. It's there. CoinDCX.
Both are there.
Yeah.
So this
These
is like
brands, anything missing here?
Sorry?
Mamaearth is not a unicorn yet, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Shortly, possible. Yeah, Mamaearth could be one of them. Yes.
That could be before the Christmas announcement, right? In that list.
Yeah. Bhargavi seems to have some news. Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
This is crazy, man. It's the fastest 6 months, 7 months.
Mensa?
Mensa. Yeah, I mean, that's like crazy. Agreed. I don't know what will happen after all that. That's like another thing to think about. But yeah, this is unicorn story. Yeah. And we have 76 unicorns in the country, Karthik. So that's like crazy also, right? I remember the first unicorn in the country was InMobi, I think. If I remember, this was 2011 maybe. InMobi, and then you had Flipkart, and like you have to wait like every year you'll get one unicorn. Now, so yeah, it's like crazy.
So basically, unicorns are no longer these mythical creatures.
Yeah, it's over, nah? It's no longer mythical creatures. I saw somebody talking about dragons, and what are dragons? Apparently,
Decacorns.
No, not decacorns. Dragons are, at least this is more like, I think, venture fund manager terms. If it can return the entire fund, then it's called a dragon. And some funds have also started doing dragon reserves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain.
So basically, follow on hai. So instead of your usual follow on, right? You have dragon reserves. Basically, once you think, this company will likely return my fund, put more money into it. Yeah. So dragon reserves is another thing that's coming to. I mean, this was new to me also. I just started figuring it out. But yeah, I think this is like, take a bet. If you find a winner, just keep on putting money. It's like, how do I put this, right? Like, I think maybe if you find a gold mill, right? Keep on deploying more diggers. That's all. Kind of a story. Dragon reserves. I've not seen it in too many funds, but I think that's starting to happen.
Yeah. How is this different from a follow-on? Like instead of just doing a couple of rounds, you keep investing.
Yeah, you keep investing, but it can also result. The dragon can get lose its fire. That means then you'll get hit also. That is the flip side also, right? You keep betting, you keep betting. I mean, in case it doesn't turn out well, right? Then you are also in a bad situation. It can happen.
But
The
that's
dragon.
anyway the nature of the game. So this is just
But
making it to a different level. That's all.
but if your bet is only one or two dragons, or like let's say one dragon eventually,
Yeah.
if the dragon doesn't deliver, right, you're likely.
But that you would know, no? After couple of follow-ons, you would know whether it's a dragon or should I change my dragon. So as a fund, we will know that.
Yeah, you never know. Uber, WeWork, and all is a dragon, but you never know what happens. So we've seen dragons turning out to be pussycats, so you never know what happens. Yeah, like we've seen the Casper story that we were discussing, right? Like massive uptick and then completely 70% drop off from the. I mean, this is a public market scenario.
Exactly right. I think their VCs would not have gotten affected. It's retail
Yeah,
investors.
correct. It's mostly retail investors who
Yeah.
got But yeah, I think this is interesting. Next year, what's the guess now? We are almost anywhere at the end of the year now. So what should be the number of, or what will be the number of unicorns? Now we have like what, 39, 38, 39. We'll end up with say 45 unicorns. So what should be the next year numbers? Let's guess, right? Optimistic?
I would still put it at 60.
That you are very pessimistic then, literally. Not optimistic at all.
I am looking at what will happen towards end of the year when there is little slowdown, people get into sanity, and China starts getting better.
Yeah,
I
Karthik?
am thinking, I'm thinking if you think that is pessimistic, right, you would think that I am completely resigned. I think it will be difficult to repeat this feat next year
No,
because
I think,
something else will come into the
mm,
market.
mm. No, I think we are all underestimating the market's capacity to actually bounce. I think.
We have to look at that list again, right, and see who are those funds. What are those funds, which actually did those up rounds, those massive sort of up rounds,
No, there
right?
are only Karthik. There are only like 10 funds which can create unicorns.
Mm.
And there's an article which was published recently. I was reading. I mean, you just have 10 funds. If any of them invest, right, you are a unicorn. So those 10 guys only basically decide are you becoming unicorn or not globally. I'm not saying this is India
Oh,
alone.
yeah, of course, yeah.
This is 10 funds who decide are you going to be unicorn or not globally. And that's how it's going to work, right? And in these 10 funds, look, the liquidity that's been built up, I don't think it's going down anytime right soon. See, the worst case scenario that I've been thinking, I actually read this Lux Capital's quarterly newsletter. Yeah, I don't know if you can pull it up. It's very, very well written. I just read 6-7 pages of the not newsletter. Sorry, this is the LP letter by the way, because they published only the letter, not the numbers for public, so you could consume it and read. I mean, they don't make any predictions, but what they are clearly at least saying is in that is you have one scenario where this momentum continues and continues. We are like 100% or 50% up from here. So that means this year's 45 unicorns becomes next year 100. That's like doubling. I'm telling we do 100 unicorns from India next year. Does it beat the US market still? I don't know, but I think we'll be pretty close to being the number one country in terms of producing unicorns at least. I don't know the US unicorn number, but US is first. I think second is potentially India this year. The other scenario,
No, I think it's still
I
China.
don't think it will still be China. Yeah, it will still be China.
no, China has gone down this year. You should check the number. I was just looking this year.
So I think new unicorns in China.
Yeah. So China is number 3, I think, this year as it stands today. Yeah. With that, right? One is very optimistic, right? 100 unicorns. I think I also think that can happen if the market doesn't tank or market doesn't do anything. Sentiments remain same, and we are all in a nice this bubble or boat. I think people are at least telling now bubble. I've a lot more conviction. So the other story that I've been thinking of, if human beings start thinking there is a bubble, right? Obviously there'll be a bubble, right? It's like it's the end of the day, human sentiments that's driving the markets also. If all of us think we are in a bubble, then we at some point, all of us will fear fear and start selling. That might happen, and that could happen anytime mid-year, I think, or like sometime. That's my sense again. If the current scenario is going to pan out. If that happens, I think again the Lux Capital thing is we will go early. We will go after founders if nobody else is going in, and we will still continue to invest, right? Which is an interesting philosophy to say, right? Like we will do what we are supposed to do. We are not going to back off, but we might find more value in the market. That's what they're at least claiming in broad sense. So I think that's my optimistic is 100 guys in India itself, 100 unicorns next year, because the number of companies that's got funded is so massive, right? This year, last year, so there has to be some unicorns in the third year, fourth year at least, if not the 6 months. 100 unicorns, yeah. Let's see, does that age well or not?
Yeah, that's a bold prediction.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna stick to the repeat of this year.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, you're like more pessimistic than Bhargavi. Yeah. And do you think we'll hit a unicorn or too early?
Next year.
I think it may be a little bit too early, but I think Unicorns for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Unicorns is like 500 million, Karthik?
I would say anything
Little more
above.
than that.
Huh?
Little more than that.
Yeah, more than 500 million. Okay, that's like very interesting. Then time to look.
I would
Karthik,
consider anything above 300 million, will be a Unicorn.
That's not Unicorn.
It is. That would be a quantum jump from there. If you look at even the companies that are going now, right? It's almost like 3x, 4x before becoming unicorn.
So
right? I think from the
I
last
was
round.
estimating one from our portfolio will do 2 rounds next year. So it will take it above $500 million mark. Let's see.
yeah, fingers crossed. Find out, yacht suppliers. Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you tell the brand also? 20-foot yacht or 40-foot yacht.
Yeah. Now that level of detail I've not gone, Karthik. Currently, I'm at furniture level only.
But we didn't talk about that, right? Like it was a real special week for Vinod.
So that I think got over last week only.
No,
we
really?
did freewheeling last week, right?
We did.
Ah.
And this happened before that? Okay, I thought this happened early this week. Okay.
No. Last week only. Okay, yeah. But yeah, all good. But I also heard that the larger number round is happening. By the way, breaking news.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for the founders and the team and the company.
Yeah.
Hey, we should do a session on ESOPs. The benefits of ESOPs, etc. That some of these companies, what some of our startups are doing, and so on and so forth. I think it's a great story to tell, right?
Well, we should bring somebody who's gone through it, right? Like,
Yeah.
interesting. How they've got outcomes. Bring a couple of startup executives who actually benefited from ESOPs, right? That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And also this, another interesting pattern that I'm starting to see is most of the people who got some ESOPs cashed out, right? They're actually already putting their wealth back into startups or looking to invest in startups, right? Which is actually even more interesting, right? Like the old
That's
generation.
exactly what I am saying. So I spoke to somebody. I said, no, US listed company. That guy, he told on the call, right? Our family is first generation, moved from Pakistan. I grew up in lower middle class family. I have never seen this kind of money in my life. And I was lucky that I held stocks in this company before it went public. And now I don't know what to do with my money. And startup investing is one avenue which I am looking at. So which was very good, right? I said it's good that you are giving back, or you are looking at this as one of the avenues to invest your capital in. So I think absolutely that's something which is becoming true. And as we expected, right, this money is going to come back into ecosystem, which is happening, which is good for the ecosystem.
Yeah, that is the reason I'm saying 100 unicorns, because the funnel is so big at the top now. Like us, right? There are like 10 different people like at the pre-seed stage, right? And there are like 10 funds that are getting started every day, right? Like we ourselves have seen it, right? So I mean, all this money is obviously going to more founders, more diversity, more opportunity, and all of them, some of them will definitely become successful, right? So and also this theory that I have started having is you don't need like the top VC funds in the country to become a unicorn anymore. Because if you go through this unicorn list itself, right, you will find that a good chunk of them don't have the so-called or like the top funds in
Yeah.
the country, right? So you
Yeah.
can become a unicorn without them also. But you will need the other 10 guys that we were speaking about earlier. Even if you don't require the top 10 guys in the country, you'll require the other 10 guys. So that phenomena, gives confidence that look, you don't need to always think, getting investment from the top 10 is necessarily the route to building a large startup here. I think it's not
Yeah.
necessary.
Yeah.
Well, there are ample examples. I think that's there.
Yeah,
So
but see, I think that's also true because there is more 100 million plus funds coming out. It used to be quite rare, and we all used to be with awe, right? Oh, wow, this is 100 million fund. I think this week we got two announcements of a 100 million plus fund. So I think then, of course, there is more opportunities for other investors to go invest larger check sizes.
yeah, and there's domestic capital which is starting to play big. I think also, right? Like, I mean, sentiment might go weak depending on how the public market reacts also, but overall there's a lot more domestic capital coming in, and I think that will become more easier if only you know people who are supposed to listen and make it a little more easy for everybody else. Yeah.
All right.
All
On
right.
that note, shall we do a wrap?
Yeah. I think we should. I think given. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
All
Thanks
right,
for
guys.
catching up to everyone. We are on LinkedIn. I hope to see a lot more folks reacting. Really freewheeling. It's been again. But if you have any topics, do comment on LinkedIn. If you want us to discuss any specific topics, ESOPs or anything on startup, or if you want to bring us somebody as a guest, I think we should bring
Or
a
any
guest.
of you want to join us as a
Join.
guest,
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been quite some time since we've had a guest, Karthik. We should try and do a guest session on this. And you should
Yeah.
bring in people, whom you are currently working, closing with some of them, It's been pending. Yeah, we should do that. Yeah. By the
For
way,
sure.
you
For
too.
sure.
You too.
Yeah, I already have a couple of guests in mind whom I have to
Uh,
pursue, some big guest,
yeah.
but just thought it will be good to get them after the holiday season. So let's see.
Yeah. Awesome.
All
Okay.
right, guys. We'll try to see you next week. I think our schedules are a little flux next week, but if not, we'll see you the week after. Sayonara.
Bye bye.
Bye.